Hi, Julia. I was only thinking of you today. Hi, Susanna. Welcome, everybody. This is the beautiful apophyllite grandmother alchemy bowl. Hi, Jonathan. Hi. Hi, Paula. Just allow the beautiful sounds. Hi, Larissa. Allow the beautiful sounds of the crystal alchemies to just be received. Hi, Jackie. They're sounding so clear and so beautiful this evening. So we are in the magic zone, really. We are in the most extraordinary window of energy alchemy as we've moved through the solstice window. And I'm sure many like me had some disturbed nights because the energy was so strong. And there was almost a sense of wired but tired that came with that. This is a beautiful, beautiful point that we're in. We're in a rest point, actually, although most of us haven't got any opportunity to be in that rest point where we move from the solstice into these days of stillness, really, before the sun starts to stretch itself again and our days here in the northern hemisphere start to extend themselves. So there's always a window between the 21st and the 24th when, if we were in times that were less fraught, shall we say, with to-dos, what we should be doing, then we would draw back in and we would rest and recharge as we move through this time. So these are extraordinary times. This is a supermoon. It's a new supermoon. It's coming in straight on the back of the solstice energies. It's another place for us to actually explore and go, well, where am I at in my journey right now? I'm coming to the end of this year, unlike any other year. Where am I in myself, and where am I in what I am taking out into the world in relation to my soul's script in our, for each and every one of us as we come into incarnation. The soul has a desired pathway. It has a sense of its choice points and what the soul's intention is in this journey on the earth. And so perhaps the timing is to be able to have a reflective moment in the busyness, to be able to reflect on how aligned am I with my soul's intention, what is feeling to be a true and absolute alignment for me each and every day. Hi Anna, hello. So this, this window of opportunity offers us all sorts of different possibilities, and actually just even to remember that this is the pause point, as I see it, from the sort of the in-breath of God to the out-breath of God on the macrocosm. It's like we draw right in as we come into the winter solstice. There is this pause point for these 3 days. And then the sun starts its trajectory again out to the summer solstice, which feels to me to be an out breath into the fire energy, if you like, back into the solar frequency, as opposed to this deep earth that we come into at this point in the year. Many of you will know that I've been currently engaging much more with a group of frequencies that are showing themselves as the elemental rose dragons. And they connect in with these 5 elemental currents that are present within the earth and present with all of life, present within these physical bodies too. And they're really calling us and calling our attention for those of us who are resonant with their frequencies, to really take a different view and a deeper step into coming into resonance with the harmony of the seasons and the harmony of these elemental currents in our lives. This is such a powerful time, and such a powerful point for us when we can start to engage in perhaps a way that we haven't done before, with the messages that Gaia offers us. She too is awakening to a new level of consciousness, and she can only do that because there are enough of us awakened or awakening on the planet, and that is what's enabling her to really fully activate at this time. The guidance I had with a long channeling this morning was that we are moving into a place where we're almost ahead of schedule. We're in accelerated timelines now in this shift of consciousness on the planet. And it's because there are many awakening to the fact that their lives need a deeper meaning and have a different flavor, if you like, that's beginning to rise and enable a different lens of perception on our lives. And possibly Christmas and all of the ritual that has grown up over the last 50 or so years around Christmas is being also viewed in a different lens, through a different lens, in our choice to be less accessible, perhaps. And we're really looking more at the true meaning of our connections and meaning making the times that we have to share with others. So on that note, shall we have a look and see what the wisdom of the roses might bring us as an insight for this time? Over the last 12 years that I've been working with the rose consciousness in this way, through this particular way of working, I've really become so aware of the gift that these roses are in our awakening and way showing, actually, to anything that is still holding an energy charge, anything that is still needing to be refined. We are being called to hold higher and higher levels of light, higher and higher light quotient within our own fields. And, you know, perhaps like me, you've also noticed that as we've moved through the solstice window, there's been a shift in what I'm choosing to put in my body. Again, another level of refine and align, because I do feel that as we go into 2023, that the whole thing is going to speed up in yet another level. And any way in which this vessel can be lightening its load in whatever way we can, through thoughts, through the frequency of what we're consuming, the frequency of what we've got around us. Is there another level of refinement? Is there another level of letting go that is necessary for your space to hold a higher frequency? Is there some ritual? Is there some clearing? Is there some saging? Is there some blessing that would be of value to your space at this time, to bring a closure, perhaps, to this year? This time opens up opportunity for us to consider where we are now and where we've been and where we want to go. What is calling me forward? And as that, therefore, it's full of opportunity. It's a field of opportunity. So from that, which way do you want to go with it? So let's see what the roses have got to offer us. So we have Rose Angel 11 as our first rose. And this rose is a real beauty. She sits is the last rose in the Rose Angel set within the Rose Oracle. And the Rose Angels are the transformers for the 5 wounds to love of abandonment, betrayal, denial, judgment, and separation. And they invite us to the salve of self-love, self-value, self-esteem, trust, truth, forgiveness, and surrender. And as we work through those, each and every time we are able to shift another piece of our story, so the golden heart opens, so there is greater ease. And you'll see this rose, she's only one of 2 roses in the Oracle deck that has a petal down. And she's inviting us in, absolutely saying, step in, step in. And she says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and end of your search. And I hand you the golden key. Oh, Jonathan, one of your favourite roses. Yes, she does, invites to receive. And this is such a blessing for us to have within the reading for this particular time. This is an opening for us to recognise the journey we've been on, how much shadow, how much inner work each one of us has stepped up to do in this last, particularly in this last year, but you know, in the whole of the journey that I've had with the roses since 2010. This set within the Rose Oracle has felt to be the most powerful. The salve that these offer to the heart enables us to understand that the condition of our hearts is the only thing that we can take with us. We can't take any of this stuff, only the condition of the heart. And so it behoves us to bring focus to anything that is still calling for our attention, is still calling for some alchemy. And alchemy just allows us, with grace and ease, when we bring focus to something in this time now, it's rapid, if we can bring full consciousness to anything that is coming up with an energy charge for us as a gift. I know sometimes it's not really easy to see it as a gift, you know, because it's either, oh, I thought I dealt with that, or, oh my goodness, not again. You know, but actually, as she says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and end of your search. And with every time that we are able to face and transmute anything that is coming for us to be looked at again, reviewed, then she gracefully opens another level of ease within the heart field. She, as I say, is an absolute beauty to work with. I am not absolutely certain which rose this is because she was photographed without a label on the ground or around her, but I believe she is very likely a rose called Golden Celebration, which is a David Austin rose. She may be Graham Thomas, which has a similar form, but I do believe she is Golden Celebration. And this is what the universe does when we are able to transmute anything that is still holding an energy charge for us and that we don't dismiss. We understand what is actually underneath it. What is the wisdom? What's the message in this particular discomfort? So she's a very beautiful energy that invites us to pay full attention and to co-create with her in this field of gold. As many of the great teachers are telling us, we are entering the golden age. And so whatever we can do to hold that frequency. And the other thing, of course, is that when we can stay in a field of love 24/7, we cannot get sick because there is nothing within us that is not in alignment. But also we are not, we're not going to pick up other stuff because there's nothing of resonance. So actually the inner work is all the work that we have to do. Everything changes on the screen of our lives in relation to this work within. So let's see what the roses might show us for the second rose. And also to say, because it's just popped in, that of course Christmas and coming together in family, coming together with those that perhaps we only see periodically, will do two things. Will either show us just how much inner work we've done or how much there is still to do. Shocking, isn't it? Anyway, maybe that's the gift of the times. Let's see what the second rose would be. The second rose is Rose Mars 6. And this rose says, I am wisdom. And the Rose Mars roses are all I am statements. They are all about an embodiment of a quality, a heartfelt quality. So this rose says, I am wisdom. And we know that this is a pathway which allows us to weave the energies of love and power. When we can see that dynamic, the stepping forward into a place of wisdom, you know, what would love have me do, be, or say now? What would her highest guidance be for me? What would my wisest self choose at this particular point? And it's interesting that in the last set of the Rose Oracle, there are 3 roses that sit in the heart star, in the higher heart, and they weave the 3 flames of love, wisdom and power. And it always catches me that actually power without love has no wisdom, and love without power has no wisdom. But when you combine the 2 together, that there is something that is sound within the body that creates love in action. So she is just a very stunning energy to work with. And let's see what our 3rd rose is. There is also, of course, a case for taking that breath in order to be able to respond, not react to any circumstance in this Christmas period. So that when there is something that perhaps feels uncomfortable or is a trigger, that we're able to take a breath and make a choice, a wise choice of how we deal with it. And of course, that we can then move forward with love in any pathway. And the 3rd rose for this evening is this place of, she's Rose Angel 2. And this rose sits on the crown, and she works with the wound of separation, but she invites us to surrender to this place of allowing the flow of what wants to unfold, what wants to be revealed, for us to know that we are absolutely in an alignment, in an aligned flow, whereby we perhaps are in the right place, talking to the right person, and we have the ability to transform lives when we can show up in that way. So it's listening to the nudges, listening to the inner tutor, the intuition that guides us how to respond in any circumstance, or perhaps the nudge to show up whenever we are able. So these 3 energies are just the most perfect frequencies of love, and the roses are just pure love. They just carry messages that touch us in the heart if we are prepared to go there. We have the 1st rose that says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and end of your search, and I hand you the golden key. I'm an invitation to step within this field of gold, to live from this field of gold. I am wisdom. I hold the wise woman, the wisdom keeper, the truth carrier. The wise woman is often seen as the hag, the crone, the witch. So the hag is the holy one, the crone is the crowned one, the witch is the wise one. So we find these energies of the wisdom keeper, and we also find these in the masculine energy that has a good balance of masculine, feminine, that can be more we focused rather than I focused. This is the shift from the patriarchy into the evolved masculine that dances and weaves both masculine and feminine, that can hold the place of the wisdom keeper. And this is really where I'm seeing the energies going as we move into next year. That what I'm understanding from the Rose Dragons is the calling of the balancing of the masculine and feminine streams of energy, the Ida and the Pingala, up through the body. This is an empowering. The Rose Dragons are a loving and empowering field of frequency. And this is just delightful when I can see where those of us that are working with this higher consciousness are really wanting to go. And this rose, whoops, upside down, this rose is really inviting us to not resist what is coming through, to actually surrender and receive. Because each one of us is going to get upshifted keys and codes of light as we move into 2023. We are just in preparation. We have just entered over the threshold of a window of time that will take us through to the equinox and the movement of Pluto into Aquarius and the real anchoring of the Aquarian age. The grandmother and apophyllite alchemy bowl, and the grandfather, the sage, that weaves with her the weaving of the ancient wisdom keepers of masculine and feminine, and the rose quartz bowl that connects us into Mother Earth, connects us into Gaia. And she really anchors in the golden light. The wisdom of the elders, the wisdom of the ancients. So, I'm wishing you just the most magical time in these coming days. And remember the words of this particular rose, that actually the quality of the heart is all we can take with us. And so she's calling us home. This is home. And to be able to walk with wisdom and in the flow, in alignment, sacred alignment with self. Wishing you the most blessed and beautiful Christmas, and I look forward to connecting in when we move into the new year. I've got 2 places left in the in-person Sacred Rose Visioning Day on Epiphany on the 6th of January, and we are getting pretty full now for the 5-part Rose Elemental Rose Dragons course that starts on the 12th. It's limited by the fact that I'm hand making all of the rose cards for this particular very special first go round of this work. So gratitude, thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, from my heart to yours.